I decided to show the completed mod first. Welcome to Lume Shop, my name is Eric. So I'm going to be showing you guys the new SKX013 case, which is a new release by Crystaltimes. And essentially, it's an SKX style case without the crown guards. Depending on how this case is used, you can achieve a more dressier look or toolier look. I went with the sportier feel, so let's take a look at how I built this grand Sumo diver. Roll the B clip. Alright, for this build I'm using the NH35 movement, and as always I like to check the operation of the caliber before building on it. So checking the natural day change, quick set, and oscillation of the balance wheel. Based on my time grapher, the rate and beat error is pretty good, but the amplitude is kinda low. The performance can improve once the watch gets some use, so I'll leave it as is and monitor its performance once on wrist. Now I'm working on replacing the white date wheel for black one to prevent the white from standing out too much since I'll be using a black dial. A quick tip is not to screw down components all the way one by one. It's like building furniture, you want to get all the screws in place, then tighten them afterwards to ensure the parts are aligned properly. Once the date wheel is in, I check the manual and quick set change, and of course, never use the quick set function between 9 PM and 3 AM. For the dial, I chose an OEM Sumo face. I love the shape of the apply markers and overall layout of this dial. Here we see my OCD check-in, which forces me to check the day operation again. And now we proceed on to the handset installation. I'm using gold-plated brass Persian tweezers to set the hands in place. The tweezer itself is a softer metal than the handset, so it greatly reduces the chance of damaging the parts. I set the hour hand with my Persian hand setter, check the alignment, give it a clean, and check its operation. This is basically the same process for all three hands. Place, set, check, clean, and test. Of course, you want to make sure the hour and minute hand are spaced properly and align up nicely. Now that the internals are done, we can proceed on to the casework. Here's the CT707 case 4 o'clock position crown. We can see that there aren't any crown guards, but the rest of the SKX shape is there. I'll have links below to where you can find this case. I chose to use the stealth chapter ring as I wanted a clean looking watch while retaining the functional aspect of minute marks. I set the chapter ring in place, which is held in by some adhesive, and check the alignment with the dial by giving a test fit. I make adjustments here to get the chapter ring perfectly aligned up. Once that's in place, I move on to the crystal. I used a double dome sapphire crystal with clear AR. First, I put in the crystal gasket, give it a clean, and carefully set the crystal in place before seating it with my Horotech crystal press. Here I make sure that the crystal was seated evenly, give it a clean, and marry the case with the mechanism. Now for the crown, I chose the CT228 signed S version with the triple gaskets since it has a similar design aspect to Grand Seiko crowns. We can see how the sign portion itself is raised up and its surrounding is slightly recessed under. Once it's lubricated and installed, I temporarily close up the case to work on the bezel. I like to lubricate the bezel gasket as well to get a nice action, and I'm using the oyster edge or Rolex edge style design. I seat the click spring in place and bezel itself with a press since you want an even downward force. Now go back to the case back, lubricate the gasket, clean the internals, set the crown and case back. For this build, I'm using a sapphire display case back. And finally, the last component is the lumed ceramic bezel insert. I use some contact adhesive to get in place and make slight adjustments to get it perfectly centered. Now that everything's complete, all that's left to do is tighten up the case back. And here we have it. I'm calling this build the Grand Sumo Diver. It sounded a lot cooler when I thought about it. I need to get a wrist shot, give me a second. Much better. This is the RX steel bracelet from CT, which has solid end links, solid individual links, and a flip out micro extension on the clasp. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This piece is for sale if anybody wants to buy it. I'll leave my email on the screen and in the description box below in case anybody wants to contact me. I also offer watch modification services in general, so if you have an existing watch or a design that you want to have made, please shoot me an email and we can work out details to have that watch created. As always, thank you so much for watching and I'll check you guys in the next video.